just gonna.
You're going to add another if statement there. That's great.
In this if statement, I have to do. I have to make sure that the previous key that was ever placed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just make. It has to be float. If I use something like int, float, and this has to be, let's just say, I'm just gonna see how to detect if you press a key in C#. Key down.
So remember that the key down event, you see? That will indicate whether while you have the key down. So there's another counteractive, right? There's another counteractive part that's called a key up. So whenever you release the key up event can be handled, can be called to handle that at the point in time when you release the key. But when you have the key down, that's when it catches that key down event for you now over there. You know, whatever you have the key, whatever key character stroke you have, you're pressing on.
Take this input dot get key down.
Yep, that's right.
Key code.
Mm-hmm. So now you can see what key is being pressed now. You know.
Yeah. So
if you have it on update, it'll keep on going and execute that while you have that key down, while you have your finger pressed on that key down. You see.
So is this what we do? Key code dot right.
Yeah. So that means that if
this stands for the right arrow.
No, that's a good question. No, yes, that's it for the right arrow key. Yeah, exactly, right arrow key.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say.
Then once you're no longer pressing on it, it'll just be returning false, and it'll skip
and
the
then
execution there.
I'm just gonna say that update. Okay, after the update, I'm just gonna right. I'll just make another if statement.
Mm-hmm.
And is it like... Now that's the other thing. And this one, oh, it's just that, okay. Okay. And then if I do something like this.
So, yeah, exactly. So now that'll go. So now if the speed is not, that's a good one over there. If you don't have the horizontal speed equal to the, to the product of that match, if they're at 0 in this case, you want to set it to idle. Otherwise, you want to make it move, right? So now that'll be like a flag.
I'm just going to say last key pressed should equal to.
You're not defining any. You have variables on top. Yep, you have variables there. That's good. You're saying you have the horizontal speed, the vertical speed. So go up and down, left and right. Good.
Sorry. Okay, and then I can copy this.
So now you're using the last key press as a
to
flag.
left,
Yeah, now there is be for left, that's right.
arrow. Right? So now here, I'll just say that right? And then I'm just going to say this is going to be if, and then I can say if last key press is equal to 1, then this will be right. And if it's 0, because those are the only two things it can ever be.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. So now, exactly. You want to indicate if it's going to be, that's right. Good idea.
And I always want to, I'm just going to select an original sprite. Right? Because if you aren't clicking anything.
That's right. You want to give it a default value.
Right or left, then it can't choose.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. So it has to be set up to be a default value.
I'm going to set this to 1 automatically, so it will always have
least
one sort of sprite.
Yep, that's a good idea. That way you can have a default value.
So it doesn't break, and it doesn't be like, it has no sprite anymore because, it will always be left because I don't know what is default. I think default is undefined or something, but I want it to stay.
Yeah,
default.
It's based on the what now. By saying that it's you have the key down for right, then 1 it will be interpreted for right, 0 will be interpreted for left.
Never mind. Okay, so now we have this, right? And now I want this new thing to come here. So I'm gonna take this, copy, and then I'm gonna put this here. And I'm going to switch this to air.
So it can be in motion. Good. That's a good one.
So now I take this and I saved it, right? So now I'm going to go back into Unity. And now in Unity, it's going to update, right?
Yep. Now you can run it. No. Yeah, you have an error there. You have an error. Okay. Key code does not contain a definition for left. Make sure you use the right.
Then I'm gonna see.
Yeah, you can actually. Okay, here's what you can do actually.
Arrow key.
Yeah, good. You can look for it, but yeah, that's good. So it'll be basically you can use, but the get key will just get the key. Like if it's just go down.
Yeah.
Just go down. So you want to find the key code that is only for the right arrow key, right? The right arrow key and left arrow key, right? So I think it's gonna be something like right arrow or left arrow. Try typing that one in, of course, for the into the Unity, okay?
Oh, just right arrow. We have to have arrow at the
Yeah, right arrow. That way I thought you have to put down right arrow or left arrow, so we can find it. So go back to the code there and change it to right arrow or left arrow.
Okay.
Sometimes you can forget, but yeah, exactly. Type in the word arrow for every where you have that check there.
Okay, now we saved it. It's gonna update.
But you got to change your other ones also. You got some left there.
Yep,
Okay, good.
It goes away. That means we do have a definition.
You got it, my friend. There you go.
Now we can press start. It starts on this screen just because.
You can set the start on full screen also.
Oh yeah, see. So as soon as you start the game.
Yeah.
Right? It will automatically.
You know how to put the full screen mode, right?
But then once you press right, it will stay right.
Exactly.
And once you press left, it will switch. See?
You got it. Yep. Now, do you know how to set it up to run on full screen mode?
Yeah. It's build and run.
You can actually set. You can go to the scene option. If you click the game, go to scene option. Oh, go to game tab. Sorry, if you want to go to scene tab, go to scene tab. Now you should see some. Now, if you go to those options over there, you see a different version of Unity. But if you go to options, you should see it's just full screen. You know, go. I think it could be one of those options over there. If you option, keep going. Keep going. Yep. Click on settings. Let me see. Let me see. Full screen. Oh, no, not that one. Okay. Go to game tab again. Go to the game tab. And go one of those over there. One of those should say full screen mode. Nope. Those other. No, go to the option over here. Yep. Let me see. Go over there. Go to the display option. Let me see. Okay, not that one. Okay. Go to the drop down for game. The game drop down. Okay, never mind. Okay, go to the drop down for play focus. Let me see what that one has. Play focus drop down. Yeah, play maximize. Click on that one. There you go. Now that should play full screen mode for you. There you go. Now that's in the full screen mode. You see it? Now you can click on left. You see? Man, now you see the whole trailer. You see? It's flashing. That's nice. This is an excellent tool. Now you can actually start adding some things on a scene to simulate point scores. You know, so while you're joining in, you can start, having to collide with items and making it a point. That's excellent though. You had an excellent setup with this game. That's excellent, man. You're applying all that we went over for the previous lessons. Now you're applying it to make that's really great. So now you're an expert now in the whole 2D game creation.
Thing, right? So what I did is that so I have the edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I have the top.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have the top with just the bottom inner edge, and I have the grass top with inner edge to the right. I have this where it's the top and the bottom, the grass edge with the inner edge there, and the grass small edge.
Mm-hmm.
That can be used on the edge of these things, right?
Good. Yeah, the grass top of there. Mm-hmm. So that will be the animation. You see? That plays the animation. You can name it something else. Now you have it playing automatically, so you have it automatically flickering that trailway, back and forth for a certain period of time.
Right now we have this. So now we have this, so I download. My laptop's at 2%. I'm gonna find. Now we have those two. So if I come here, I go here and I can put those in. No, one of them didn't go in. I didn't get it. Okay, I got it.
So you can see that you have the edges defined here with green, right? You know, and the center to be that was going to be the brown color you have there. You know. Yep. So that's just the review. That's the designs.
Download this.
Yep.
So now I have 37 to 41. This is 5 different.
Good job there. Okay.
And then I come here and I pick all the 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and those are all of these that we have, right? So then out of the ones remaining, I'm just going to say double grass, inner red, diagonal. Oh, grass, inner red.
To get the player position, you can say
get the position of a background.
you got to do that transform that position. You could get the object, the game object that transform.
Game object.
That transform.
Object dot.
That transform.
Transform. A capital P.
No lowercase. You know. That position. Yep, you gotta define the game object basically that you have available to you. You know, yep, that position will be just print. That'll be a field, not a function name. You have a field for that. So what you can do is that you can create a game object field, and you can drag the game object to that from the Unity editor. You know, and that way you can just say that way you won't run into a null reference exception or a null pointer exception. So you can declare that as a field and say private game object name, you know. Then you can assign you can of course have it to be set up from the Unity editor by dragging it. And now when you're defining it as a type, it's going to be capital G for a type. Yeah, capital G exactly. You're gonna call it I'll call it background obj in case they don't have a background name in Unity. And also the field names are always capital. The first letter is always going to be capital, but by convention of the field name. Yep. There you go.
Not be capital.
I mean that's actually trivial, but it's only for just naming purposes. But it won't have any impact on the code at all.
So now I just do background obj dot transform dot position is equal to.
So now, if you want to be able now to update the position, right? Now, do you want to get the position, or do you want to update the position of the player?
Huh?
Do you want to update it or change it?
The position.
Okay. So if you want to be able to update the position of the player, you know.
No, I want to update the position of the background.
Oh, the background. Okay. So in that case, of course, if you want to do it that way.
I want to get the position of the player and update the position of the background.
So what you can basically do then, right? You can just say now equals, Yeah, you can set it equal to something. And it'll be a vector 3 component that you're gonna have to set it equal to.
Okay, so I put an equal to sign.
Yep. So you can say new vector 3 in space vector 3. It'll have an x y z
Vector
fields.
2?
Gotta say new. You go ahead and instantiate it. Say new. Click on new lowercase n. Yep. For instantiation, and then click on space. So now I think go back to your Unity editor. Let me see your transform components again. Go click on the get background scene.
So the background is going to.
So it has
the background position will always equal the player.
So it's gonna be in vector 3. You're gonna have vector 3 because it has 3 axes. You see x, y, z axes. So you're gonna have a vector 3. You're gonna define an instance of that to instantiate, to assign to the position field of the actual player object. So in your script there, you can say position equals new vector 3 and pass it x value, y value, and z value that you want it to be updated to, okay?
So what do you mean by that?
Go to script, go to line 14. After it says new, right? Hit space. Then type in vector 3, capital V, then type in vector 3. Vector 3. Then 2 opening parentheses. Then between opening and closing, you're gonna give it the x comma y comma z value. So how much? So what kind of value you wanted? Now, which one you wanted to change? You want to change this x position? Well, actually, this is a sprite.
X and y position. The x
Okay.
and y.
Okay, actually, it's better to use vector 2.
Equal the player position.
Yeah, since you're dealing with a 2-dimensional sprite, change the 3 to 2. Actually, change the 3 to 2. Change the number 3 to 2.
3 to 2.
No, yeah, change it to 2. Yep. And now you can get rid of the z part now. And now you want to determine what you want. Now what number, what x and y value do you want to change? So how much you want to change its horizontal displacement, and how much you want to change its vertical displacement.
So I want the x value to equal the player's x value.
Oh
And
yeah, I
I
see.
want you to
So that
equal
means
the
you gotta add a player object then. You gotta add a player object to the field, and you're gonna add another player object field after line 7.
So what do I do this?
You're gonna do another game object. We're gonna give a call at one a player object now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and make it public so that way you can change it on the Unity editor scene. Make it public. You're gonna say space game object. Then you're gonna say player object. Player obj. And now you can say now on the line 15, you can say replace the x with player object dot x. Replace y with player object dot y. And that's how you will update it to point to the player, No, it's going to be obj. That has to match the field you declared in line 8, the name of that field. Yeah, there you go.
Like that?
Yep, my friend, you got it?
So now I save this.
Now, but don't play it on the Unity editor. We're going to have to drag that player object to...
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
And I go to the Unity editor.
That's right.
It's going to update.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now I have to go
to the code, right? And say equals position. Just say drag around that transform that position equals player object that transform that position. You don't have to say just do that actually. Get rid of the new vector 2 after the equal sign. No, just get rid of everything actually. Get rid of everything.
Remove everything.
Yeah, move everything. No, get rid of everything again. Everything again. Yep, everything. Exactly. There you go. So now now it'll just change the entire position of the player so that the background will point to that same position now.
Okay.
So now the error's gone. You see? There you go. No more error.
I on this, and I click on player. It's always gonna fall, right?
Yep.
But I want. So the background is gonna have that, and I'll also give the component to the camera. So player, and this time it's just gonna be the main camera. So now nothing's gonna move on the screen. The screen's not gonna move. Now nothing's happening.
That's what we're expecting it to do.
Yeah. So the Y is just changing based on based on what I choose it to be. Right?
That's right. Whatever you set over here, it'll be updated in the script as
so
well.
Now it's a Y, right? Except the main camera can't see anything anymore. Because the main camera, I wanted it to move down. So the main camera is looking here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I press play, the main camera, because look at this, the main camera is having the same Y value as all of this.
That's right.
It's because I gave this the Z and the value of
Exactly. Change it
-1.
there. Exactly. You see? That's right.
I can't set it to 0. So what happened is that the Z value.
Yeah, that one will just go like till it go like forward, backwards.
Yeah, I can't switch this to 0. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because obviously this is a 2D game, so the Z value would always impact what you'll see there.
Yeah, so the Z value has to be different, but if the main camera is value...
Has to be a fixed value, in other words.
Yeah, the Z value has to be fixed. I cannot switch the Z value at all.
Yeah, that's because you're dealing with two-dimensional sprites. That's mostly the reason why. So you're not looking at it from that perspective.
With this, how do I make it so the Z value...
Here's what you can do. You can declare a field. So now, which Z value we want not to change, the player or the background or the camera's Z value? Which one?
Huh?
Which Z value want to remain constant? The player's Z value, the camera's Z value, or the background? Okay. So now this is a mono behavior for the background. What you want to do is after line 8, hit enter after line 8, and then you can now create a float value variable. Call it float, call it private. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be public because it's going to be internal here. Float, and you can say Z value. Yep, call it Z value. And then under the start method in line 12, say Z value equals, and give it a fixed value. And then now, if you want the background's value to change, you can just say now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm externally.
Okay, that's good. So you can since you want to set it up externally, you can leave it as public. So the whole purpose here is that you want to set it to a value that will never change, so that the background value will never change, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you want to compare it with the initial value. That's why. So every update call, you want to compare the Z value with the initial value to make sure that if it doesn't equal that value, then set it equal to that value. That's how it won't change it at all. I want to say
value. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just copy.
Or you do this actually. Create a function. I actually have an idea. You can do. Create a function.
You'll see. You'll see. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Z value will always equal to Z value fixed. Okay. And now what we're going to do is that I want Z value to always equal whatever position.
Yeah, but now you want to update that Z value of the background, right? Right.
Z value fixed is already gonna have a fixed value that I'm gonna set outside. And then the average Z value is going to change after each update, right? Because it's always going to equal the player's Z value, which is always 0. But I want the real Z value to be always negative. I want it
for the
to
background,
be
right?
The value I set it to.
For that background, right?
But this is still kind of laggy.
Yeah. So this is why. Here's what I'm gonna show you right now. We can create a function called setZ. Okay. After line 12, you can call it vector3 for the return type. Vector3, capital V, the type here, 3 space, and call it setZ, capital S for function name. setZ, yep. Then opening parentheses. Then now say vector3. Give it a vector3 field called vector. Call it, the type will be vector3. Then the field name will be vector, or whatever you want to call it. So yep, vector3 for the type of the data we're gonna store there. Then after that, no, it's gonna be capital V. That's a data type there. Then you're gonna say no, it has to be. You gotta tell it what number though, like for 3D, vector3. Okay.
Okay, then I'm just gonna say
it has to be vector3, the type of the data. So copy the type you declared over. Yep. Now give it a name of your own. Okay. Actually, call it.
I'll just,
Actually, it's not. I mean, you can call it vector because it'll actually be the vector that will be passing to it. Then you can call the actual. Now we're gonna give it a second argument after that, and that will be the actual z value. And that second argument will be a type float. So call this one vector, just vector obj, anything like that. Yep. Then comma, then type in the data type float. Yep, space and give a name. That you can call that z value now. Yep, that'll be the z value. Now define its body. Yep.
so now I can just remove this.
Yep. Now after that, click on enter after that. With the opening
Can I
brace.
make this public so I can see?
No, you can't do that for parameters. It's not legal to do that actually, because they're stored on a stack memory, so they don't get public access. Those are only legal for class level variables, for instance field variables basically. Now do opening braces.
Then I'll just do this.
Make sure you define a body for the function.
So what I'm just gonna do is real z value, right? And then I'll just say z value here. Float. And update, I'll just say z value is always going to equal real z value. So I can see, right? Now
That's
I can
right.
see.
So now in line 15, give it a body, right? Do opening braces for that and enter.
Okay. So I'll just do this.
Yep. And now say vector obj dot z equals the real z value. Yep, you can copy that variable name. Yep, there you go. Semicolon, then hit enter, then say return vector obj. So that way it's going to return the same object, but now keep initializing it to the v value that you tell it to be initialized to then. Semicolon. Make sure you put a semicolon there, and now we're going to call it under the update method, right? We're going to call that function. So you can replace then. We can just hit enter after line 12. You'll see what we're going to do here. So you're going to say background that transform that position equals set z, then pass it.
After line 12?
Actually, in line 13, after the equal sign, right? In line 13, right after the equal sign, type in call the function set z over there. Call that function set z, then pass it the background that transform that position.
Background dot what?
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. It has to be after that. Actually, it has to be after that. Actually, sorry about that. It has to be after that because you still want to be able to update the background to the player, so you might as well do it after that. So do background that transform that position in line 14 again, and say it equal. So now what the whole purpose here is that it's going to set it to that z value passed in, return the same instance back, so it can override that, the position of that background, but retaining the same z value now.
Is that it?
Nope. It has to be now. Copy line 13 background that transform that position. Copy that line only, line 13. No, not the entire line. Copy just copy background that transform that position only. Yeah, that one. Then paste it before set z in line 14. Paste it there. Now say equals. And then exactly. That's good. Leave it. Leave it there. Leave it the background that transform position inside the function. Pass it to that function as a first argument. Because that position is a vector 3 type, so you want to pass it to it. Now in the second argument, you're gonna pass it the -1 value, right? Or the z value that you define in line 9. You say comma, then pass it the z value now. Yeah, now you can say z value from that you define in line 9, right? Pass to it.
So I don't need this.
You don't need that anymore. Yep. So now it'll keep setting the z value of the vector to that value and returning it back so that it'll override the position of the background. So now you'll retain that z value for every call to update. You'll be retained.
So now that I have this, I can go ahead and go go to Unity. It's updating. Hopefully nothing bad. No.
No errors, my friend. You're good.
So player, that's not there. It's on
Yep.
background.
Get the Z value, -1.
No, that's gonna be 0.
0. Okay.
And this will be -1.
Mm-hmm.
-1. Okay, so now if I set this, it will always follow the player. Now the player is falling, but I can't see it. I can only see the difference of changing between the flying mode and the not flying. As a player.
Yep.
But the reason obstacles are not going to follow the player.
Nope.
So that will be the thing that can make you see that you actually moved.
Exactly.
Because if the obstacles also follow the player, then nothing's going to happen. The whole point of the obstacles is so that the player can land on them and do things like with them, right?
Yep, that's right. So the set Z function is working.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how we can change, a certain position, a certain value of a position by always overriding the position of the transform component of that game object. Allowing the function to handle the change for you and then returning back the same reference, the same position reference.
Okay. So now that we have this, right, I'm gonna, in the obstacles, right, I'm gonna create another empty just to, and I'll just call this.
And you could also create them as prefabs also, do you know what a prefab is?
Yeah, I know, but these are supposed to be empty because I'm using them as folders.
Okay. Is there something
I'm
you know?
using empty things as folders. Plains biome, these are going to all have, these will have the, and this will be, and inside unit 1, I'm gonna start with the grass top. Right now it's here. So in here, I'm gonna add a few things. I'm gonna create rigid body. Oh, this is gravity, right?
That's right. The gravity will basically, by applying rigid body, it'll make it.
I don't need rigid body.
Yeah, you don't want to apply gravity to it. Yep. Sorry, my friend. That's right.
What is happening?
So you have that.
Oh, just because this is inside of me right now.
Be careful there. Yep. Make sure that you're careful with the values there.
-0, -2. Okay, I'll just make it so you could land. Oh, I see. So the player, if I go to the their polygon collider, if I go to their points, it kind of looks a bit weird, right? Because if I go to the player, right, when they're falling, it will always land here. See how I'm here? I am actually supposed to be here, but it automatically moves me up because of I'm inside the block. I get pushed up, right? So I want it so that extra bit of polygon collider is actually right there. So now if I go to my characters and I go to my main character, idle left, it's 50, x 0.5, y 0. Hmm. This is one wide and one tall, right? I go to the player, and that's a scale.
Yeah, so scaling would just size it along those axes there, make it bigger, shorter,
know.
fatter,
I just want to see something. Oh, edit the collider geometry.
You could edit the collider,
I can't edit the geometry.
You have to apply, because you have no material applied to it, right?
Oh.
That's the material what you have there. You may find one under the assets folder of your game if you have any available materials to apply.
No, this is fine. So the size is 1.
Mm-hmm.
I can set the size to 1, right?
Yeah. That'll do the layer override for you for the collision.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
4. Now I have 4 different spots. Element 0. Why is it so big? Oh, it's because this is already scaled high.
Yeah, if you increase the scaling of that on that axis, it'll increase the size on that axis also for it.
So if I set it to 0.1...
Be careful.
0.1, 0.1, 0.1... Yeah, negative 0.1, negative 0. I'll just keep undoing.
Okay, we got about like a minute left, okay, my friend? Because I have another session coming up.
Okay.
And make sure that you share the project on OneDrive, okay? On OneDrive.
Oh, I don't have that. See how I have this? The position is y minus 2.
Yep.
And if I look at the player is landing on. It's almost landing on it.
It's almost like you said, right? It's almost landing on it.
Yeah, but then when this is happening, it's to that position, which I don't want.
Now when you're rotating it, see, it's going around.
I don't.
So you got see what we did for the position? Do the same thing for the rotation also. Set the rotation to a fixed value. So you see what we did for the position? Do the same thing also for rotation now. So that rotation will also be the same.
Remember how we had those sharp edges? This would always fall.
Yeah.
I don't want the fact that it always falls.
So you want to change your option for it?
So after.
Yep. Say key rotation. That's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now I only want this. Right? And now I'm just gonna remove a lot of this. Right? I don't need the player object anymore. And now if I do this, I can just transform.rotation.
That's right. Because now that set the function that will be for all kind of vectors. Exactly. You can change the rotation. Exactly. The purpose of why I had you create this function, so this function can handle all kinds of vectors. Rotation, position, or scaling, so that it'll at least the z value won't be impacted by it. Since we're dealing mostly with 2D rendering scenes.
Oh, I already have set the z. Okay, so I need to set.
So it'll be for all kind of vectors. Actually, you don't have to. You can use the same name. Just use the same thing. Because the only thing it'll override with the vector in this case. So you got a duplicate here. See, it says over here you got already defined a name player called update. So you don't want make sure you don't want to have duplicates there. See, you don't want to have duplicates there.
Oh, I'll just change this too. Okay, I'll just add something.
It's already defined, okay? But no, because I think the function name, you don't name it that it's already probably already there. The set rotation z function. Tell it set Z only.
No, it was at set Z, so it says update.
Update.
So I have to change this. Do I do something like fixed update?
No. Let me look over there. Make sure the
year.
class name is not the same. Yep. Make sure the names is different. You don't have duplicate names there.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, good.
And I also am gonna switch this so it has that. There.
And now last thing to do is the argument now. Change the argument, okay? The argument. Okay.
1158. I can't convert.
Go to line 11. Go there real quick, okay? Go to line 11. Go there, line 11. So go there, line 11. Go to that line. So rotation is that's right. It's a quaternion. So you gotta return it. You change from vector 3 to quaternion type. That's what you need to do. Change the type to quaternion. So
Ow.
change the vector 3 to quaternion. You'll see the name of it down there. See that? To QUA. See quaternion. So it's going to change it to quaternion. QUATERNION. Quaternion is a type for rotation type. So change it to quaternion. Yep. And do the same thing. Copy that to the data type there. Let's just copy and paste. Yep. There you go. And that should go away that error there. Only for rotation, not for position. That should be applied. Okay. There you go. Now it's gone. You're good. Okay. So now,
whenever you fall, it will always keep the same Z.
all right, my friend. So we can continue this next time. Okay. I have another session coming up. All right. Share this one and share this one. Share this one on the drive. Okay.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Good job. Okay. Good job. See you next time. Okay.